Hi friends! With having more and more access when it comes to online resources for language learning, self-studying a language becomes more and more popular. It offers a lot of advantages like having more autonomy in your study schedule, but it also comes with a lot of disadvantages. I both have the experience of studying Japanese in a class, but also self-studying Japanese for multiple years on and off, and I definitely encountered a lot of the disadvantages from studying by yourself. So let's go through them all, and I will try my best to give you advice on all the things that I encountered and how I overcame those initial hurdles. The first thing that can make or break your success when it comes to self-studying is your study plan and, of course, your goals. Self-studying often lacks the structured curriculum and also guidance that formal classes most of the time offers to their students. So that's why it's especially important for us self-learners to be really clear on our goals. Because if we don't even know where we want to go, how should we even know how to get there? And for example, with Japanese, there are so many things that you could focus on. For example, do you want to go down the route of just learning Japanese for understanding anime? Do you want to work in Japan and maybe need to learn Keigo? Do you just want to pass the JLPT because, I don't know, you want to feel great about yourself and your language abilities? Those are all different factors that you should think about and then pick one or two goals and focus all your efforts onto achieving that goal. Ideally, you would break it down into yearly study goals, monthly study goals, and weekly study goals, because then you know what you have to do each week. And if you want to know more on how to write a weekly study plan for yourself, I will link my video up here. I did a few weeks ago, and you can check this out after you finished watching this video. The next issue that often comes up after you know where you want to go is to know how to get there. So to find the resources that will help you to achieve your goals. There can be either way too many resources, for example, like in Japanese, and there can be way too little resources, like Vietnamese, for example. If you have the problem of having too many resources that are available to you, try to find the resources at first that would fit your level. For example, I'm almost finished with N4 so I would like to progress to N3. So I should only look at N3 stuff and don't bother with anything that is less difficult or even more difficult. After you found all the resources that are suitable for your level, you can then try to figure out the unique points that differentiate them from each other. So what are their unique strengths, for example? And then try to see which one fits your goal the best or which one you could imagine yourself using the most. One website I like to use for comparing books for Japanese is Oh My God Japan, because they do a really good job in highlighting the unique points of the books, like what are the strengths, who they are suitable for. For example, they also oftentimes tell you if it's suitable for self-learning or more for a formal class setting. And they also provide a lot of pictures from inside the book, because I often find when I look for books on Amazon, for example, they only have the cover and maybe one page from inside the book. But when it comes to Oh My God Japan, they definitely have a lot more pictures from inside the book that really help me to see if the book fits my needs and if I like the design, if I like the layout, because those are also factors that can determine if you're happy with the book long term. They're not sponsoring today's video, but I have an affiliate link down in the description, so if you decide to buy through that link, I will get a little commission with no extra cost to you, and this also helps me to sustain this channel. Alternatively, you can also head over to Instagram and look in the different language communities what other people are using and how they are enjoying the books. Because oftentimes, at least in the Japanese learning community, there are a lot of people that are writing reviews for the books that they used, including myself, for example. And if you're lucky, you can also find someone with the same language goal as you, like for example, someone who only learns Japanese for understanding like visual novels, for example. And then you can also have a look on what other resources they are using and also get a lot of inspiration from that. And when you have the problem of not finding enough resources, I would also recommend you to go on social media and look through all the language communities, because oftentimes you can get a little secret tip here and there from resources that you maybe never heard of or that are not highly ranked in Google search or in Amazon. Staying motivated when studying by yourself can also become really difficult. Without having external deadlines or the social aspect of the classroom, it can be really easy to lose interest in language learning and maybe give up entirely, especially if you're faced with really difficult grammar points or also things that you're just not good at, like speaking or listening, for example. Finding yourself a study buddy, either online or offline, can be a really great solution for that. For example, I found myself 2 Japanese study buddies through Bumble BFF in my city, so now we are sometimes meeting up for studying, and we also took the JLPT together in summer. If you need even more tips to stay motivated, you can also check out my video I did on how I stay motivated to study Japanese every day. I will also link it in the corner. Having some study friends can also help with accountability issues. Since self-studying lacks external accountability, you're solely responsible for coming up with your goals, tracking your progress, and also to make sure that you're understanding everything and test yourself on if you really did understand everything or if you just want to progress because you're bored with what you're learning right now. And this lack of accountability can lead to procrastination and also inconsistency in your learning efforts, which also can lead to slower results because you don't have to stay on top of the class schedule and can just slack off and do nothing if you want to, which can also be an advantage, but sometimes it's not the best. I experienced this quite a few times as well, especially when I tried to study way more than I could review and I just didn't really know what I was studying in the first place and everything just caught up to me and I thought to myself, oh god, just screw this, I don't want to do this anymore, and I stopped learning Japanese for multiple months. There's also a big danger in only doing the things that you actually like, for example, avoiding speaking and listening, which I'm quite guilty of. Depending on your goals, language learning is not just about studying grammar and vocabulary, but also doing output. And when you're by yourself, it can be really hard to produce output because sometimes we just may think there's no point in producing output if I don't have someone to communicate with, because you may have limited options to converse with native speakers or also do language exchange. This also involves not getting feedback for your pronunciation and maybe your use of grammar. And this can lead to you sounding maybe a bit strange because your pronunciation is off or you just use the grammar incorrectly. That's why receiving feedback from an outsider, especially a native speaker, is really crucial when learning alone. Especially when going over more complex grammar points and also practicing speaking, I like to converse with native speakers and tend to book myself an italki class here and there. On italki you can take language classes either from community tutors, so normal people like you and me, or also professional teachers who are a bit more expensive but more experienced in teaching someone the language. They all tailor-make the lessons to your needs and you have one-on-one classes so you can ask everything that's on your mind without having to feel embarrassed of asking a dumb question. Even though there are no dumb questions, obviously. I also have an affiliate link for italki. I will also link it in the description below. And if you buy at least $15 of credit until the end of September, you will get another $10 of credit on top if you use the link. If you watch the video later than that, you can still get $5 on top if you buy at least $20 of credit. Despite all the disadvantages, self-studying can be really successful if you have the right goals, approach, and also resources. But still, a lot of language learners combine their self-studying with the occasional class or also language exchange to maximize their efforts. Of course, there are also a lot of advantages when learning a language by yourself, and I will also make a video on this later. After I published it, I will put it right here. And until then, I will put my video of how I stay motivated to study Japanese every day right here, so you can get more motivation if you need it after this video. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Don't forget to share it with a friend. Also check out the link in the description box. And I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye bye!